Kelly Cox Nihill. And I heard the name Wendy Larsen, I think back in 2018 for the first time. It was in some kind of connection with the Chicago Marathon. And the people that surround me in the office, it just kept coming up. Wendy Larsen. Oh, call Wendy Larsen. Who do you want for that? You want Wendy Larsen. So finally, when the Achilles Cup happened and I saw this team, Houston, we have a mileage problem, captained by Wendy Larsen. I thought, it's time. I need to find out who this girl is. So Wendy, welcome to the Achilles Spotlight.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and finally meet you because I have been hearing your name also. So it's good to put a face with the name.
Absolutely, I agree. And specifically, I wanted to interview a wheeler, and I wanted it to be a female wheeler, just to show the diversity that we have here at Achilles. So how long have you been a member of Achilles?
I started with Achilles a little over 3 years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago.
And have you always been associated with Houston, the Houston chapter?
Been. Yes, I've always been with the Houston chapter. Native Houstonian, lived here most all of my life except during college and then moved back. So it's always been the Houston chapter.
Great. And how did you hear about Achilles?
A Google search. So I had I used to run, and I put that in quotes because my run was more like a hobble. And I have several degenerative genetic diseases. As those began to progress, and we realized I was really kind of going the way of, a wheelchair and wasn't going to be able to walk or run my races anymore, I worked with my physical therapist and my physical medicine and rehabilitation specialist who came up with the idea of hand cycling for me. And so I came home and I Googled Hand Cycle Houston, and I came up with Achilles International Houston, found the website, sent an email, got a response back saying, come join us, and they couldn't get rid of me.
Well, that makes me happy. That's exactly what you want from a Google search. So
Yes.
You've always been athletic, even as a child?
That's a funny question because I was always almost good at sports and could almost be really competitive. But I would start playing a sport, I would get pretty good at it, and then I would immediately get injured or have issues with my joints or something. And so the doctors would pull me out, tell my parents, no, her joints are just too weak to do this. She shouldn't be running track or playing softball or dancing or whatever it was. So my childhood was kind of, I wanted to do stuff, but I never really could do what other kids were doing because I had so many issues with my joints.
Mm-hmm. I see. So as captain of Team Houston, we have a mileage problem. May I say that you've done a stellar job. I checked, you have like 113 participants, and at last count, 2,417 points.
Yes.
And you're up at the top of the leaderboard with Australia and Mongolia, which
I know,
right on.
Excited because we're just one city, and they're like whole countries.
Well, good for you. I think it's just great. If I was going to name this interview, I would call it "There's Something About Wendy."
Oh. Thanks.
So I was told that you're a Disney aficionado, and I'm wondering where that comes from.
I don't know. We took our kids for the first time in 1998, and they were both very young. One of them was still a baby, and we just fell in love with it, and we bought our first annual pass on that trip. And we've been going back ever since. One of the things I love about Disney in general is, it sounds so cliche, but you can just go and relax and have fun and be a kid. And it's just such a fun friendly atmosphere. Also, really, as a disabled person, really like how accessible everything at Disney is to me, including I have a lot of severe food allergies. And Disney is one of the only safe places I can go and eat because they will actually cook meals specifically for me without any of my allergens, without any cross contamination. So it's one of the few places I can go out to have a meal at a restaurant safely. So
Right there. Right there. That's reason enough.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
That's really, it's good to be able to eat safely.
Yes.
One of the questions I like to ask is, what is the biggest or the most, the greatest benefit of being an Achilles athlete?
I think for me, it's being a part of that community and finding other people that know what it's like to live with all sorts of crazy obstacles constantly placed in front of you as far as sports and athletics go, but to also have that sense of community and know that you're around other people that kind of have an idea of what you're going through with all of my health issues, my medical issues, and constantly being in and out of hospitals and doctor's appointments and this and that. So it's nice to be a part of that community. But at the same time, these are people that don't let it stop them. They go out and they achieve so much despite all of these obstacles. And so for me, that's a really good thing to be a part of because it helps me stay positive and not get drugged down by all of my medical issues that I have. And it gives me something to look forward to, helps me with goal setting, and helps me go out and achieve things that I 5 or 10 years ago never would have thought I could have ever possibly achieved.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. Same here. I like being around you guys too. One of our athletes once put it, Achilles creates a community where we're athletes first, athletes with disabilities second, and that begins to fade as we get to know each other. You know, all the labels go away.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yes.
Without further ado, let's bring Janet in for the Achilles Hot Seat. Janet Patton, the director of the Achilles Freedom Team.
Y'all. Wendy, we love you. You're such a strong, bright, dynamic woman, and this is such a treat to get to chat with you and let the Achilles community get to know you a little better. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So this is what we call the Achilles Hot Seat. So basically, I'm going to ask you, like, what's your favorite this, or would you rather that? And you just think it, say it. Don't overthink it, you know?
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
You prefer dogs or cats?
Dogs.
I see. You have 2 dogs roaming around?
Yes, they're somewhere back there. Let's see. One is over there laying on the back of the couch.
That's how our dog is too. Loves the back of the couch as if he was a cat.
Our little dog is a lab. Our big dog is a Great Dane.
Oh, how fun. Okay. Do you prefer winter or summer?
Summer.
Do you like to fly or take a road trip?
Road trip.
I like road trips too. It's all about the snacks and the music, right?
Yes, it is. You've got to have that road trip playlist.
Yes. Okay. Do you prefer with your friends texting or calling them?
Texting.
That's good to know. Okay. What's your favorite band or singer?
Depeche Mode.
What's your favorite Depeche Mode song?
People Are People.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I also like the one, what was the video? And the whole video was backwards.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I'll send it to you.
That was too many decades ago to remember videos. I just listen to music now.
I like it. Apple Music helps us with that too. They just give us the good stuff. Okay. What's your favorite vacation spot?
Well, Walt Disney World.
We know that was a leading question. So what about Disney World or Disneyland?
Oh my gosh. Nope. I can't choose. People ask me that all the time. They're too different.
They're
You've
very
got it.
different.
Disneyland is the historical park, the original that Walt created, and Walt walked up and down Main Street in. But Walt Disney World is larger and more diverse, has more stuff to do. So
Both great spots. Okay. Do you prefer like the old, like vintage Disney characters or like the new movie princesses characters?
the vintage characters.
Who's your fave?
Tinkerbell.
I like Tinkerbell too. And we were just saying that we love the name Wendy because it reminds me of Peter Pan, and that's nothing but joy.
Exactly.
Yes, Tinkerbell. Okay. If there was a movie about you, who would play you?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I
I'm feeling like a little Drew Barrymore, here. Maybe like Drew like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah. We love your husband too. We haven't mentioned him because this is all about you, but who would play your husband?
Tom Hanks.
Love Tom Hanks. It made
He's
me
in
think
the
of Tom
background giving me a thumbs up on that one, by the way.
Oh yeah, good one. Approved. Okay, when you're racing, I have two racing questions. When you're racing, because you have fabulous hair,
Thank you.
what's your hairdo of choice when you're racing? Because that's a thing.
I put it in a low bun just so it stays out of my way, because if it's flying behind me, it gets super, super tangled and bugs me. So low bun to keep it out of the way.
Got it. And you have experimented with a lot of fun colors with your hair. What's your favorite that you've done?
Oh, I think my favorite that I've ever done was actually what I did before the New York Marathon last year. And that was kind of a purpley blue silver color.
I remember that. That was super cool. I dig this pink though. I like the pink.
Thank you.
Okay, last question. Who is your hero?
My hero, that's tough, but I guess probably my husband, Chris. Just because he is an ultra marathoner. He's done, like 50 and 100-mile races. And he is so supportive, and he stands by me through all of these crazy medical issues I have. And he is always there at my doctor's appointments and is just incredibly supportive and never bats an eye when there's something crazy going on with my health yet again. He is right there to do whatever needs to be done to help me get through it, all of that. So
True love. Power couple. Okay, you passed the hot seat. Congratulations. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
We should do a Go Achilles cheer at the end, Ellie. What do you say?
3.
Go Achilles!
Yay!